Hi and welcome to May 2024 Patreon Rewards video. So I actually got some stuff done this month. So let's get started really quick. So beginning with this month's postcard, which is right here. This one was really fun. I was really happy with the way it turned out and how much fun it was to do. And once again, it's Conan. And once again, for the second month in a row, Matthew West ended up getting this. So you got two Conan postcards back to back, which is great. So congratulations again, Matthew West, for your name came up again. I have no control on the random name picker. It just picks the name, and so Matthew got it. So this was again really fun. This month I also got some acrylic marker, an acrylic paint markers set that my daughter got a small set, and then she showed me what she did with them, and I thought they were so cool. Like her drawings, her little drawings were so cool looking that I'm like, oh, I got to get myself some of these. So at some point this month, maybe I'll try to get to them, and then I'll probably try to review the markers. So far, just to give you a heads up, my impression is that they are as versatile they're a very simple way to get to acrylic paint like right away without any of the setup, which is great, but it has the limitations of being a marker, so you could only have the color that the marker comes. So I don't know if you can mix colors, so we'll see how it is. I'll have to experiment with them. So just a heads up that's coming up at some point. I'm going to be messing around with that stuff. All right. So I started trying to draw my wife again. This in my sketchbook. Oh, by the way, here's a little bit of a marker test from my daughter's markers. I was putting them on here, but so I've been trying to draw my wife, and so this one. So the idea here was I was looking at photos of my wife, and then I tried to caricature her. That was my attempt, right? So one of the things about my wife is that she is black, right? And so one of the distinguishing features of her genetics is that she's got a slightly broader nose. The thing is that traditionally, when you tend to draw pretty women, you tend to shrink their nose a lot, right? Like make them either non-existent or make them so tiny that they're barely there. Having a prominent nose sometimes doesn't lend to cuteness or beauty or whatever you wanna. But here's the thing: like you look at like a movie like Lilo and Stitch, and all the women have very prominent noses, and they're still cute, right? So I was like, okay, there has to be a way to there is a way, because I've seen other character designs with prominent noses, and I've seen a lot of artists, especially black artists, who draw black women, and they draw them beautiful, and they leave their prominent noses in, and I'm like, how do they do that and still keep them looking beautiful? Like, what's the balance? What's the secret sauce, right? Like, how do you do that? So the trick for me was to actually go against the tradition of drawing, of minimizing the nose, and try to actually keep the broad nose or the prominent nose, and still keep them beautiful. So that was my experimentation here, was trying to keep the prominent nose while and enhancing the ethnic features that make her look so pretty that tend to go against the tradition. So it was hit or miss. I failed more often than not. So I'm going to keep trying. It's just, first of all, I could draw a pretty girl with a prominent nose, but the problem is it doesn't look like my wife, and that's also the problem. Like, part of the problem is, yeah, I could draw a pretty girl with a prominent nose, but it doesn't look like my wife. So like, for example, this is almost straight picture of a photo, like straight off one of the pictures that I drew off of one of her photos. And it looks like her. This one almost looks like her. It's the closest I've come to a caricature of her. This doesn't look like her. This also doesn't look like her. So it's kind of tricky. Then I tried this one, and this also doesn't look like her, and this also doesn't look like her. Yeah. So more work needs to be done. So and then here I tried again, and none of these, right? These don't look like her at all. This one looks like her. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep trying. It's good. It's a work in progress. Okay. One of the things that I did today, this month, was I worked on the storyboard for the Towers Alchemist. So I'm not going to show you the whole thing here, but I just wanted to, like, really quickly skip through this. I wanted to show you that this is. I even put a little video together. It's got audio and everything. It's like it's the whole thing, and so. Silver patrons, you get to see this. You get to see the whole thing as I have it in a rough stage. One of the things that I just wanted to say, and so you could see the how I stage everything, how rough everything is. Bronze patrons will also get this, but it'll get a PDF. So I'll put up the PDF right now. Here we go. There. So you guys will get the PDF of this whole thing, and this is the work in progress so far. This is what it's going to be. I made some adjustments. So this is the skeleton of the board. Like I said, silver patrons will get to see the video, and then you'll see how I'm thinking the timing of it will go, how it moves. Yeah. This here, I will show you. Let me go back to this. So this is the opening shot, right? And this is how long it is. Okay, and then it stops. So now, after I had everything timed out, I have to draw this environment that looks like this, right? Like, this is my rough. This is what it looks like when I roughed it out. There's going to be people here. Isabella and Ken are over here in this corner. Let me go back to this. There we go. So I'm also including this for bronze patrons. This is the work in progress background. So I am designing the background as I finish the drawing. So this is the size relationship. This is the size of stuff. So I could make sure that everything is the the right height, right? Um, these are all going to be the tables. Are going to be circular tables, but this is kind of like, this is the stage, and this is how I broke up the background. So I'm designing the background as I design this shot, so that as I move forward on the rest of the video, I mean on the rest of the board, the storyboard, that I will have what this place looks like. So I drew a really, obviously I do the grid, I did the whole thing. This is all kind of blocky and still kind of blocky and blocking in all the areas, and so all these lines back here are just the beginning of all the detail. So now that I have this as the groundwork, as the blueprint, as the skeleton of the perspective, I got to go in to every little piece here and actually add regular normal detail, make the tables round, change the chairs so that there's people on the chairs, give the chairs some kind of the design, make this bar look more like a bar, add bottles and stuff here on the bar. I'm still debating whether or not to put any detail on the floor. Put details here on this balcony, put more details here on the balcony, put some details here on this kind of balcony thing here, add round tables over here, and then of course add people. I have to add all the people here, so it's going to take a while. Hopefully this is going, because I'm taking my time doing this, I am not rushing it, there is no absolute deadline. Oh, here up here, these are going to be chandeliers, but there's no like super crazy deadline. So what I can do is I can relax and have fun doing the background, like have fun actually doing this, because in my day job, when I do this kind of thing, it's not fun. It's not fun because I have a deadline. I'm rushing through this, and it takes away the pressure, takes away the enjoyment of the process, of just enjoying doing the process. The thing that kind of makes drawing relaxing is gone, because suddenly you have all this pressure for all this deadline pressure. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, what I'm doing here is I'm allowing myself to calm down, to not rush it, to just enjoy the process, and just to do the work. Just do the work, relax, do the work. You could do it. You could do it. You could relax and do it, right? It's tough. It's tough for me to get to that in that headspace, because this is what I do for a living, and it feels like I should be rushing, but I won't. And so this is going to take probably the longest just to set this up, because I need this environment created so I could wrap my head around it. So when I go into here and I do the rest, I know what the details behind them are here. I know what the details will be here. I'll know what the details back here are. I mean, the details are already here. Like, I'm not going to really do anything in this one. This one's already kind of there. But all these details, I'm going to have to put into this main thing. Like those banners have to come down here and stuff. See, so some of the details are already here, right? But especially like this shot here, where the crowd is running off screen, like the crowd, like, you know, this guy, he starts shooting, and I mean, he's shooting above the crowd, and then everybody panics and they all run out. That's what this shot is. So this is going to be another pain in the neck shot, because it's a big environment shot. But most of these other backgrounds aren't going to be too crazy. Most of them are not going to be too complicated. Um, maybe this one at the end here might be a little bit complicated. I don't know. I don't want to get too detailed doing the backgrounds, but I mean, this is supposed to be good and supposed to be fun. It's supposed to, you're supposed to, you know, I'll add all this kind of stuff to the final board. Like I'll have the lighting and all that stuff going on. So I'll this one. I don't know how much of the shorthand I'm going to do with the backgrounds once I get to them, but since I have the establishing shot here, I could just imply the background on most of these. And again, like this one will probably need more detail, and this last one will be a little bit need a little bit more detail because so I did go over this again. I originally had a different version of the board. Once I timed it all out and I saw it all in motion, I realized that there were issues with some of the shots that I did. Some of the shots weren't working. They were really clunky. They didn't work. So I reworked the shots. And one of the reworked shots was this one. Originally I had her, there was a close-up of this and then it pulled out, but I didn't do that. I still now have this close-up, but it's different. This close-up now just moves to a two-shot. Which I think works way better. So you could still see what she's doing. Like you could see that she's doing something, but you can't quite see the detail. So we zoom in to show you what she did, and then we pull up. And then we have this conversation that needed to happen. Because originally I had this, and then she pulled out the thing, and then we cut to her doing a close-up of this, and then we moved up to like the symbol and him. It just wasn't working. It didn't look good. Also, this moment needed to happen. This conversation with them, having a little moment, and then the rest I kept. I thought the rest was working, but a lot more poses need to be put in here. Like when Silver Patrons, when you guys see the video, you'll see that it's just kind of like, you know, like that sort of thing where nothing's really. So I'm gonna need to add more, a few more poses just to make it, just to give it some punch. I don't want to fully animate it because that's not the point. But I do need to add more motion. I need to really add more poses. So when I start doing a more final drawing or a more final drawing, I'm going to have to add more poses like here and more running, more poses here, more poses here. So just so that it just fleshes it out a little bit more. And that's this month's rewards. So I hope to keep working on this throughout the month. This has actually taken, again, a back seat. The reason I was able to do this was because I had a small lull in my workload. I actually had a day off in the middle of the week. And so actually I had 2 days off. But most of my first day was doing all kinds of like upkeep in the house, like a lot of bills and car repair and smog checks and all the things that I needed to do, and payments of stuff that I had to get paid and fixing. Like there was a lot of stuff that I needed to get house stuff that I needed to work on that I had been they didn't have the time to do and so I had a day off, and then the next day I did have some time. And so that's when I was doing all the storyboard stuff, and then on the weekend, like on a Saturday, I sat down and I just spent 4 hours just working on this background, and I didn't really get far. Like it felt like I didn't get anywhere, but it was 4 hours. So I'm gonna keep on trying to get stuff done, but ever since then, work just dropped the hammer on me. It's been hectic. I've been working very, very late every night. So I have a tough time getting to this stuff. I have a really tough time getting to this stuff now. I hope to get to more stuff. And next month, there's more stuff in my sketchbook that I did this month, or like in the last couple of days, which is not included here. And that is because my son, he commissioned me to do a sticker for him. He gave me an idea as to what he wanted me to do. It has to be it's a skull skating, and he had very, very specific things he wanted to see on that skull skating. So that's what I'm working on, just to do a hand-drawn sticker for him. And the reason I'm doing it is because it's fun. I like it. It's a good idea. And so I'm working on that, on sketching that stuff. So I'll share that next month. So you'll see that, and yeah, so hopefully I could get that done too. Like, there's so much stuff I want to get to. It's tough to get to the stuff I want to get to because of work, but I little by little. So hopefully I can get this stuff done. I could get the skateboard, the sticker done. I could draw my wife a little bit more. Yeah, there's so much stuff I want to get to, and I don't have enough time to do it. So, but thank you for your support, and here's what I did. And I hope the silver patrons like the behind the scenes rough animatic of the board, and you can see the work in progress and all the thought and how it goes behind what goes into doing this sort of thing, and I hope this is helpful and enlightening for you to see this process. Thank you for your support, and I will talk to you next time. All right. So I'm happy to announce that I now have a new drawing lesson called Drafu Guide to Sketching and Gesture Foundations. It's the beginning of the level 2 information that people have been asking me for the drawing website, which will teach you where to start drawing, what to draw when you draw, how to draw from observation, how to draw from imagination, how to draw what you envision, and how to discover what you ought to envision if you don't have anything specific in mind. So if you find any of this interesting, you could follow the link that you see, or you can go to thedrawingwebsite.com, look under level 2, and you'll find a link there.